G'day folks, this is Sim and welcome back to Blood and Bloody Idiot. I've been doing some mining. In fact, that's pretty much all that I've been doing, and I'll show you the spoils shortly. Basically just branch mining in the nether, staying away from stuff as much as I possibly could because I'm still so soft and squishy, but that has improved. Now, there is a problem. As you can see here, it's raining, we've got dark areas under trees and a few other things going on, and there's just nothing around here. And this has happened before, just not getting the mob spawns. I'm getting mob spawning at night, but I'm not getting a lot. Nothing like it was like back at the beginning. You remember when we just had masses and masses of things coming at us from all directions every single time we stepped outside. And I think part of it is to do with the fact that we're living on top of one of those dungeons and the creepers have been blowing it up constantly. And what ends up happening is that the blocks get picked up by the zombies then don't despawn, they roam around downstairs, or they get washed down to the bottom of water streams. And I know that's happening because I've found a few nests now. So what we're going to do now is we're going to try an experiment. I've done this one once before. We're going to put a COFH kill all, and we've killed 59 mobs. Now that's not a lot, and I don't know what might actually be around further away, but we'll start like that and we'll check things out at night and see whether we're getting more spawns or not. I'm probably going to have to do this in the nether as well, and I'll give that a shot and see how things go. But anyway, what have I been up to? Mining. So let's head downstairs into the lab and have a look at what's going on. Now, as you can see, there hasn't been a lot in the way of changes here. I've upgraded a couple of basic machines. My hardened energy cell has done a little bit of work, and it's slowly being juiced up by this survivalist generator. Very slowly, but it's been enough for me to pulverize a few ores and keep me rolling along. What I have done is spent, as I said, quite a lot of time in the nether. My pickaxe is now at manual and level. I managed to get enough bits and pieces to do it. It's been teched up to Grandmaster, and I've got Silk Touch on it, so that's made the mining in the nether a lot easier. The other thing that I've done is leveled up my backup pickaxe, and now it's up to Fortune 3, so that's proving handy for a few bits and pieces. But I've got to be careful I don't use it in the nether or I set things off. I have a ton of stuff that I have converted into dusts, and I've got some more ingots as well, so I've got a pretty decent supply of materials, even some of the rarer, harder to get materials like sanguinite. And I have upgraded my sword, so it now has a calendrite blade, so it's doing a lot of damage, and it's got a great deal of durability. As you can see, it's still got the fiery on it, which is a little bit annoying, but I've got level 2 lifesteal. I've managed to get some quartz on it to boost the sharpness, so the total damage now is 22. Unfortunately, I don't have any more modifiers, and I can't upgrade it any more than that. I'm going to have to look and see about throwing maybe a couple of extras together and see whether I can come up with anything special. But this is my everyday sword, and I have been experimenting. So I've made myself 2 other swords which I've been leveling. This one here is a broadsword, and this is just my backup sword, and it's got auto repair on it as well. Doesn't do anywhere near as much damage as the cleaver, but it does do what I need to do, and obviously it's a lot faster and it doesn't have the mining fatigue effect. The other one that I've been leveling up is the rapier, and the reason I've leveled up the rapier is for quite a few of the mobs which have armor. This one has a very fast attack and it bypasses armor. The downside of it is that it doesn't do anywhere near as much damage as the other weapons, but it still has a lot of leveling up to do. I'm only at legendary. Oops, there we go. And I've still got 4 modifiers remaining on this one, so I'm going to be able to throw some useful stuff on it. It's got anti-spider and smite, as well as the sharpness, so it's going to be a pretty good general purpose weapon, I think. And the other thing that I like about it is that it's got the bounce back effect, which when you're slowed down actually is quite useful. But the biggest change probably is, and you might have already noticed, my armor. I have upgraded all of my armor to sanguinite, and I've enchanted all of it, and as you can see I've actually managed to get really lucky with my enchants. So I've got protection, absorption and unbreaking. Hang on a second, I've got a bit of a cough here. Okay. Fire protection on the leggings, which helps to put the fires out when they start. And again, absorption, unbreaking and protection on the boots. So what that boils down to is I'm getting the normal absorption hearts from the armor plus the additional ones from the enchantments. So as you can see, I've got a fairly decent buffer there, and that's coming in rather handy. Better have a snack, hey. Now my plan today is to work on some upgraded tech. I want some better power generation, and I want to be able to see if I can get myself... That's my phone, I'll check that later. Okay, we'll try that again. So I'm looking to get some better power generation. What the heck is that? And what is it doing in here with my... Holy snap! How the heck did he get in here? Look at my poor little snow golem. He was going nuts trying to do something about that. That's awesome. Hang on a second. Did that chest get destroyed? No. We need to make ourselves some space quickly before this stuff despawns. Hang on a sec. Yeah, let's get these chests down again. I have no idea how he spawned in here. I'll find out in a minute. Let's just get this stuff picked up, get a few more of these. Let's just throw this away. Oh, we've got a boulder blast charge. Okay, and again, I don't think they're of any real use. Leather, those. My cauldron was destroyed. Do we get all the snow? No, there's more. Let's just throw... we may as well make the blocks up. Well, we're not going to have any problems with water for a while. Mate, that was a great job there. Absolutely brilliant. Hang on a sec, let's get the rest of this. And oh, a little bit more. Come on. Is that the lot? No. Crikey. I don't have time for this. I'll clean this mess up later. Hang on a second. Oi, get in there. Alright. That's a worry. He could have done a lot of damage. Look at all that snow. I need to be able to summon something down here and let him go nuts. That was brilliant. We don't need that in there. We'll keep that. Alright. So, how on earth did he spawn in here? Hang on, let's just have a quick look and see. Okay, no, we had a torch over there before, didn't we? So yeah, we had a torch sitting around about there. Did I lose something from up there? And how did I lose it? Okay, that's interesting to say the least. Alright, so now we definitely don't have any spawnable spaces. Oh, and remember what I said before about the mobs? I have a feeling that the sun's gone down, because I haven't heard a lot of explosions around my base for ages, and now we've got stuff dying. Let's go and have a quick look. We might not get as much tech done today as I originally planned. Yeah, it's definitely night time. Let's get upstairs and let's be careful about this. Let's see if we do have some company out here or not. Okay, we've got one of those guys. I can't see anything down there because it's too dark. Let's turn that off. Yep, there's something trapped down in there as well. Yeah, spiders, mobs over there. Okay, so yeah. So we definitely have an issue with mobs that aren't despawning. We're probably going to have to run a kill all every once in a while. I probably shouldn't be showing this off just yet. Yeah, more mobs down there. But right, let's get back to it. And let's try and stop saying over and over again, hey? So, taking up the power. So what I'm planning to do is I am going to be building a tree farm upstairs, and then I'm going to be running the power down here. I also want to be able to see what I can do about generating a recycling charcoal setup. So I'm going to need to start off a couple of survivalist generators, which I've already prepped. I've got some item ducts. I've made a few pneumatic servos. Most of these recipes aren't too bad. This one, for example, heptazon and steel and red alloy. The item ducts are just heptazon and lead, and we're doing okay there. The other thing that I'm going to need is some leadstone energy conduits. Now these are the cheapest and the only ones that I can make at the moment, because the better quality energy conduits actually require fantasy metals, and we're not even close. But just to make 8 leadstone energy conduits requires angmelon, a diamond saw, and a leadstone energy cell. So I'm going to have to use 4 energy cells just to make 32 conduits, which is pretty nuts. So we've got some power. We're going to be using the crusher and the furnace. The other things that I need to make are the harvester, and I finally managed to get enough cobalt to be able to do something worthwhile. So the cobalt's going to be needed to make a cobalt axe, which is effectively a replacement for the diamond axe. And we can't actually use it for anything, because you can see when we make it this way, it's good for one hit and one hit only. Or in this case, we want it for the actual machine that we're building. Now we need steel, we need plastic, we need machine frames, and I made a couple of those earlier on. The shears are made with iron, so they're not going to be a problem. I've got most of the stuff that I need over here, so we're going to need that one, a couple of those. We're going to need the machine frame, and we're going to need to get some iron and a few other bits. So let's duck over here and let's recheck that recipe while we're at it. We need iron and 2 steel, redstone reception coils, which require the red alloy and the angmelon, and some. Okay, right. So red alloy's over in the other chest. The steel, we need a couple of those, and we're going to need 4 of those. And we've got our shears. And the angmelon, which I should have in here. Might make a couple of reception coils up, I think, because they're probably going to be needed. And I think I've got enough red alloy here to do the job. Yep. Alright, let's just throw that over in here for now. So I believe it's that way. actually let's not make any more than we absolutely need at the moment, because I still do have to be careful. And I think that's everything. So here we go, we've got shears and the steel and the reception coil, so that gives us our harvester. And then we also need a planter, and my caps lock key is on again. And the planter is a very similar recipe, but we need some bronze and we need a couple of pistons. We've got the flower pot and we've got the machine frame. The pistons also require red alloy ingots, and I don't have any normal pistons. Right, and the redstone and the junglewood planks, and of course we need that iron, so let's grab it. And hopefully that will be it. And here we go. So 2 pistons, a flower pot, more plastic sheets, another machine frame, and what was the remainder? It was bronze or Tinker's alloy and the reception coil. So we did need some extra metal, and I should have plenty of bronze, yes. Right. So, there we go. So that's what we need to do just to get the basic planter and harvester. Let's throw this stuff in here for now, because we're not likely to need it in the short term. We are going to need that. The servos, the energy conduits, the machines. I don't need the wood, but I'm probably going to if I assume that. So let's just, actually we'll toss it into this one here with a few other bits and pieces. The angmelon can go in there for now as well. Right, so the last thing that I need to make this setup work is what I want to be able to do is convert the wood that we're getting into sawdust, then convert the sawdust into the compressed sawdust bricks, and then feed those through a steel furnace to make charcoal. I want the charcoal to be able to supply power to the system, as well as additional power to the crusher to keep that rolling. And I'm pretty sure that if I get the system set up, it should give me a net output in both power and in charcoal, and then I'm going to be able to use the charcoal in both the smeltery here or the high oven, and hopefully in some other power generation as well. We'll see how it all goes. The other thing that I'm going to get out of the system is going to be saplings, and I've got to experiment with that, because I don't know for sure whether the Mine Factory Reloaded biofuel generator will work with rubber saplings, or whether I'm going to have to try a different type of tree, because I would like to be able to get some additional rubber out of this. But for now, we need an cyclic assembler, and a cyclic assembler is going to take a bit of work too, so that's something I haven't prepared for yet, so let's go and have a look at it now. Alright, we need tin gears, we need a brass chest, we need a machine frame, and we need another reception coil. So I'll get the stuff together that we need to make that, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I've got the extra bits and pieces that I needed. We've got our brass chest, we've got our redstone reception coil, we've got our machine frame, we've got 2 tin gears, and the one thing that I'm missing, I think, is the bronze. Yep, and well, that's not too far away now, is it? There we go, a couple of bronze. And actually, look, you can go in there now. And there we go. So we have a cyclic assembler. Now that's going to require power as well. So hopefully I can get this kick started What I think I am going to do is take one of these leadstone energy cells and upgrade it. To do that, firstly we need to make the cell, so we need angamalin and a conductance coil. And now I'm running really low on the red alloy, so we better grab, I know I've got some in here somewhere, I'm sure I do. Electrum, where's the electrum? Not looking good, hang on a sec. There we go, one electrum dust left. Okay, well that's not hard to make up. Now this smelter here is the best that I can make, and it's made out of the anoldishite. Now these are great, they are really fast, but they do go through the lava at a phenomenal rate. So at the moment, until I've got a way of getting a steady supply of lava for this thing, I'm just using it for generic stuff, bits and pieces, because it just gives me what I need when I need it, and that's great. So let's throw that in there. Let's get our conductance coil. And what was the other thing that we needed to do to finish? No, hang on a second, I'm missing something now. I've forgotten. Oh, that's right, we're upgrading this beastie. So I do need the angamalin. Alright, 3 of those, and I think that should give us almost everything that we, yep, okay, so that plus those and that gives us a standard energy cell, and now we should be able to surround that with Damascus to upgrade it to hardened, and I've got plenty of Damascus. Now, I know there's a lot of crafting in this episode, but I haven't done a massive amount of crafting, so I figure it's probably not a bad idea. And then the next step up from hardened, unfortunately we can't get to that using this, because if we want to go to the next sort of energy cell, we are looking at the redstone and then the resonant. The redstone is going to cost us mithril, which we simply don't have access to, and Carmot, as well as a redstone energy cell frame, which is electrum and hardened glass and diamonds, which I don't have access to. But that's okay, we don't need massive amounts of power now, and we're probably not going to need massive amounts of power for a while. That's one of the things about Blood and Bones is that you're not generally doing a lot of really heavy power-based high-tech stuff early on in the piece. I think we might have oh no, we can't set to daytime anyway because this is Blood and Bones. Ooh, something up there doesn't sound friendly. Now, I don't know whether I should be happy that I'm hearing all these mobs or not, but at least the pack's playing the way it's supposed to again. Nothing to need to worry about down there, no. I am a little bit paranoid after that thing spawned in here. I'm still curious as to why, because I have no idea how we ended up with an area in here that was dark enough. I don't know whether it's that there is actually a random chance, and that's really going to suck. If this pack is actually set up so that you do have a random chance of some mobs spawning inside your base, then yeah, that's going to be shitty. Anyway, for now we've got the hardened energy cell here, so what we're going to do with this beastie is we are going to, well, we're going to put these other swords away for the time being because I don't need them here. Actually, let's throw the weaponry over this side. That one's going to need a repair soon too. And where were we? We've got all of our bits and pieces. We're going to throw that in there, and we want to get this juiced up, which means I need that precision sledgehammer because I don't have a wrench yet, and I should be able to pop that beastie off there. Throw this fella in here. Set his inputs, and we want to be inputting from that side and from the top, and outputting to the back. And we'll set it up to, I think that's pulverizes a maximum of 80 if my memory serves me correctly. No, 40. Well, we'll be fine. Okay, so are you filling up? Yes, you are. Alright, and we've got some power to kickstart what we're doing up here. Now we just need to not die with all this expensive gear in our hands. So let's head upstairs and see about how we're going to do all of this, and hopefully not attract too much attention along the way. Need to get right upstairs first, because the first thing that we need is we need the harvester, and I am going to need to do something. Yeah, we've got, oh look at all of these mobs. See, I haven't seen this for ages, so yeah, this makes me both terrified and much happier. Let's take that out of there, and we go and get right in the center. Now I am going to have to make, oh, that made me jump. I am going to have to also make an upgrade for this, because I'm going to have to make 2 upgrades, in fact. One for this and one for the planter, so that the range increase actually triggers. So we need that planter in there. We need that beastie there, and we're going to need to run power. And we're also going to need to run the a system to feed the saplings back in from the harvester. So hopefully we'll be able to do that in here. Let's just give ourselves a bit of working room, and we'll see how we go. So this is where it gets interesting, because I haven't planned this out in a creative world. I like to put things together and see exactly how they actually go. So what I'm going to do now, because I don't think you really want to see me just fiddling around with pipes and things, is I'm going to bounce out and I'm going to come back once I've put the basic setup together, and then explain how it all works, so hopefully things come together nicely. Alright, let's break that one out of there too, and we're going to need a hole down there. Alright, so sun's coming up, which means I'll be able to get outside and do some serious work as soon as the worst of the... Yeah, look at that. We got all sorts of nastiness again. And I need to be careful out here again, because we're going to have situations with fishing zombies and flying things that haven't been bothering me for a while. So I will... well, what I might do actually is check the time and see how we're going. So just bear with me for a sec. Okay, no, we're hitting the time mark here. I don't want this episode to run too long. So I'll come back in the next episode after we've got the setup in place, and we'll have a look at it. We'll see whether or not it's going to work, or whether or not I've just wasted a whole ton of materials. Well, actually, it's not going to be that bad, because I'll still be able to use them. I'm just hoping that I can get a setup that actually gives me a decent positive output. And in the meantime, I hate... Oi! I mean, I really hate those spiders. And geez, can they jump. And I can't shoot for shit. And now he's out of sight. That's okay. You, die. There we go. I can hit something. Yay, I'm not completely useless. Anything else down there? Yeah. It's a pretty decent bow I've got here. It's doing a fairly good job, actually. Quite like it. The old vanilla bow is still one of my favourite toys. As you can see, that one there, power, punch, flame, and agony. And I don't know exactly how the agony works, but what I'm hoping is that it's a tick damage enchantment that isn't ignored by things like zombies, which are immune to poison and things like that. I'm hoping that it just causes some extra damage to them. What do we got? We got Trent over there, or Treant. Any company down here. I'm wasting a ton of time on pointless stuff at the moment. So how about I get to work, and I will see you guys in the next episode. I hope you guys enjoyed this one, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Until then, look after each other, everybody, and ciao for now.